Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining us today. We are so glad to have homeowners, aspiring homeowners, together in this space. Whether you are building your dream home, renovating your current one, or just exploring ideas, today's session is going to be packed with insights you don't want to miss. Now, to guide us through, we have with our very special guest, Mr. Sharan Hoke. He's an interior design consultant at Siddhashri Associates, based in Sahagar Nagar, Bangalore. Sharon holds an MTech degree and brings with him over 8 years of teaching experience, along with 5 years of hands-on experience in interior and construction. Over the years, he has successfully handled more than 100 projects, ranging from interior works worth 5 lakhs to 40 lakhs. What makes his work truly stands out is a strong team. He works with architects, designers, engineers, and skilled artisans, together delivering quality spaces that people are proudly to call their homes. And today, he's here to share valuable insights on a very important topic: 10 mistakes that homeowners regret later. These are lessons drawn directly from his real project experiences. So I'm sure all of us are going to walk away with some eye-opening learnings. And once again, welcome our dear audience to this session. So over to you, Sharon sir. You can start the session. And also, we'll be having a live Q&A after this session. You can ask your questions directly to Mr. Sharon sir through the chat box. So, Sharon sir.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, all. Yeah, hope you are all. The voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, in today's session, we are going to discuss about some mistakes basically we do in interiors. And in this, we are going to have this session, but nowadays you may be knowing most of these things are available online also. And even if you search in AI, you will be getting all these details. But why you wants to go for this? Just I wants to share the real-time experience from the site. What exactly happens in the site and what the client are going to miss and what they forget, what they neglect, what they not going to consider during their interiors. Those are the things. Just I have some few PPTs I'm going to present with you guys. And yeah, can we go to the PPTs directly?
Yes, sir.
My screen is visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In today, the topic is 10 costly home interior mistakes that homeowners regret later. Basically, it's not about the regretting, but it is a kind of experience. But experience is okay for the learners, not for the owners, because you are going to lose your time, money, patience, everything. For learners like us, or our team, or our freshers, for them the mistakes are fine. So for the homeowners who are taking the new homes and you wants to build, it should not become a blunder. You have to take care of the certain things. And I am going to list out very few items. I'm not going too deep in technically. So I will start one by one. The first thing in interior design, just we are looking about the space planning. Whatever the space available, like in common scenario, if you are going to consider like any of the houses, we may say like a 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 4 BHK, villa or bungalow. Then we will having the particular space, particular room per particular person. Then we have to design that space like from starting entry to the end point of that particular house. So basically, when we are going to discuss about the space, blindly we are going to follow the builder furniture layout. Whatever the builder is giving the furniture layout to us, like in the present while going to purchase, they will give one furniture layout. Just we simply follow that furniture layout and we are going to place TV in that place of TV, wardrobe in that place. In certain cases, it may not be favorable to us. If you are going to consider, some things will be missing in that, or in that may be earlier mistakes of the builder or someone else. So depending upon our own requirement, because the end of the day, we are going to stay in that house, we have to design the space as per our requirement. So we should not blindly follow that. Room layout and arrangement mistakes. Basically, what happen whenever you are going to consider any of the rooms, like if maybe living room or a bedroom, or in the bedroom, master bedroom, it may be for the parents, or a guest bedroom, or it may be for the children. Depending on the person who is going to stay in that particular room, we have to plan, we have to arrange, we have to make a things. But we are going to make a mistake in that. In some cases, like if you are following the vastu and all, even scientifically also, placing your head towards north while sleeping is not considered as auspicious, or it is not considered as a right way. It is a wrong. So we have to consider such kind of things clearly before going to make the layout. So we have to have the proper planning in that also. The pushing the furniture against the walls. What happened while pushing the furniture against the wall? Just consider with one bed. When you are considering a bed against the wall, directly you are putting into the corner of the wall. If two brothers are sleeping on next to each other, someone have to overlap and have to, when they want to come out, they have to come over them. So, or if husband and wife is sleeping, they have to disturb each other and come out of it. So, to avoid such kind of mistakes, you have to maintain a certain space. If you are putting a bed, there will be surrounding area. If you are in a kitchen, if you are in a parallel kitchen, there's supposed to be 4 feet of space in between the two counters. Because if two people, one maid is working or one other homeowner is walking, it should not hit each other. If you are carrying something, if you are carrying a vessels or something, it should not hit each other. Like that, we have to plan these things properly. And overcrowding the spaces. This is another biggest mistake. Simply, whenever we are going to have the new house, we keep on bringing the new items and randomly we are going to place them. So we have to see what is the requirement, what is the need, and where we can place those things. If we are having like already existing items in our old houses, we have to plan for it in the earlier stage itself. What are the items we can carry to the next house? What we are going to skip, and if you are carrying to the next house, where we are going to keep that item. Means if you are having a older sofa and you want to keep it, you are going to buy a new sofa and you are having the older sofa altogether, you are going to place and you are going to club, and it is going to spoil the space. So you have to plan accordingly what you are going to keep, what you don't want to keep, and how you are going to place everything in a proper manner. And ignoring the primary function, example like creating not creating the sufficient storage space. Basically, interior in an interior space, when we are coming and discussing about the interior part, the major requirement is about the storage space. Means you are creating the wardrobe, you are creating the study table, or it is this everything, or like a kitchen cabinet. Everything have its own requirement. Why we are making the wardrobe to keep the clothes? Why you are making the kitchen cabinets to store the food or vessels? We are making the TV unit to make accommodate those parts. Means we should not always go beyond the aesthetics only. We have to look at the functions first. What is the basic function of that? And neglecting the kitchen work triangle. Basically, this is one of the most common mistake people do in the kitchen design. It is not about the designer mistake or not about the owner's mistake, but it is lack of awareness how you are going to use the things. Like in the basic design scenario, there is like a concept of kitchen work triangle. Basically, you are going to take a item or a vegetable from the fridge, you are going to wash it, and you are going to cut and make a food, and it is going to be in that particular triangle. Sometimes what happens, some people randomly keep the fridge somewhere in the living room or somewhere in some other room. Then you have to all the way go to that room, collect the material, bring back to the sink, wash and cook. So this is not the way. It should be in a proper manner. It should be within that particular triangle. So that is the one mistake people are going to do. And apart from that, there are some other mistakes like in most common Indian houses, we are going to have the prayer rooms. It may be depending upon the religion, we are having the mandir, temple, or some other way of making the puja. But we have to place it in a proper manner in a particular location. It may be depending upon the vastu if you are considering that direction. Sorry. Mm, is it
So,
fine? Can I?
it was just a noise.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. When it comes to the puja mandir and bedroom, it should not be placed in a bedroom or in a kitchen. It is not the right place to have the prayer space. In a puja mandir, it's supposed to be properly placed in a particular direction or particular space. It should not be somewhere accommodated with the wardrobe, next to the wardrobe, or next to the tall unit or oven. It is not the place. So we are going to make such kind of silly mistakes. So we have to avoid. And what best possible things we can do. Certain things I am telling here we can avoid. Means I told about the pushing the furniture against the wall or making separate place for the puja mandir. In case of 2 BHK houses and the space is small, like hardly we may get like in a super built up area of 1200 square feet, we may get hardly space of around 800 or 700 square feet. Within that, we have to plan properly. Because of that, if we make space planning properly, the everything going to work out in a proper manner. If you are going to fail in this, the whole project is going to fail. This is the major thing in the interior design. There is a saying like, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. There's Benjamin Franklin's saying. So you have to make a proper planning in this kitchen. And even in kitchen also, there are various ways like parallel kitchen or triangular kitchen, L-shaped kitchen or island kitchen. Whatever the type of kitchen, you're supposed to have the proper arrangement. Okay. Next, we have the functionality and ergonomics. What is basically about the functionality and how ergonomics is going to relate with respect to the interior design? Why it is coming, this terminology? Basically, we'll discuss about the functionality. What are the functionality in a house? What is our function or what is the interior design we are going to have? Like wardrobe is there. Wardrobe have a certain function. We are going to place something. We have a dressing unit. There we have a certain activities. Dressing is the one activity or some other thing. For particular thing, we will be having a certain item. Like in functionality, uh, prioritizing the looks over the real life use. Usually, sometimes what happens, we simply go on the looks. We are not bothering about the functionality basically. What is the major function of that? We are least bothered. We simply see the posh look. It looks good. That is fine. It is going to survive or not. It is going to work as per our requirement or not. Simply we bring and we make it as a showpiece. It is not the way. It is a simply considering the space. It is waste of space. So we have to think about the function. Is it useful or not? Like that. Improper desk and the work surface. Basically, when it comes to the ergonomics and all, whenever we are going to have the any furniture, you start from the kitchen or you discuss about the in a bedroom or a study table or a bed, cot. Each and every furniture have its own standard dimension. Standard dimensions are not 100% like it's supposed to be. It should not. It's not like that. It depends on the person who is going to use that particular furniture. If a person is like a 4 feet tall and he's having a taller wardrobes and taller things, it is not going to suitable for them. If the person is 6.5 feet, then it is not going to work out with those standard dimensions. So in a general consideration, if you are considering the normal standard height of a person like around 5 feet or 5.5, that kind of a height, whatever the remaining furniture measurements are there, those are all standard. Like in case of a kitchen, if you are having the kitchen cabinet, means tabletop, the lower bottom unit or whatever the tabletop is there, usually goes like a 30 to 33 to 36, depending upon the user height. That is the maximum range. Otherwise, you are going to face the back pain or some other issues while cooking or while working in the kitchen. So you have to think of these, why it is made like a 33 to 34. We have to accommodate the different number of units below that cabinet. We may be having a different set of tandems. We may be having the drawers. We may be having a thali plate basket or a cup saucer unit or some storage units. So in order to access those things, we're supposed to have those that much of room. If you are saying like a 30-inch you are making and in that below is the 4-inch, this one, hardly we can accommodate like another 20 24-inch only. So in order to avoid those things, we have to make it clear. And keeping more than 13-inch depth in wall units like a kitchen or bookshelf units. Whenever in your house, if you are seeing the wall unit in the kitchen, it is not more than 13-inch. It will be hardly 12-inch or maximum 13-inch. Why it is considered only 13-inch? In certain cases, we are going to hit while getting up, while cooking, and we are going to have the issue. So in order to avoid that, they are going to maintain that height and select furniture that not provides the proper posture and support. We are going to make this mistake. We are going to not bother about the furniture, how comfortable it is, like a office chair. Whenever we are going to have the office chair, we are not going to in office. It is not possible. We can't order as per our requirement. But when we are having the work from home option in our house, we are going to purchase our own chair. Then we have to see. We have to sit and experience. We have to check how good it is, how beneficial is it, armrest is proper, is it adjustable, you can sit and work, we can stand and work, it can be balanced. Those are the things we have to check before going for such kind of things, and ignoring the human dimensions and reach zones. Whenever we are going to have the particular items, we have to look at the dimensions of the person. As I told about the 4 feet tall, or like someone person is fat, and we are giving the low space for him to sit, then it is not possible for him to adjust in that things. And some other areas like a wrong distance between the TV and the sofa. Simply, there are certain calculation. If you are not going to calculate, you are going to place the TV at the height of 4 or 5 feet, then you have to all the way keep watching like this. Then you will be having the neck pain. So neck pain, back pain, these are the pain. Means our life is to make comfortable by using these kind of interiors. Our ergonomics is the only thing we have to make our life comfortable with the help of these things. We have to make it balanced way. So these are the mistakes we make it while knowingly or unknowingly we have to we will do, and we have to avoid it. Next, coming to the part quality. In quality, there are so many issues. I mean, so many material qualities there, so many design things are there. So you have to check starting with the material. If you are considering from the material perspective, not using the certified material. In the market, you simply go. Sometimes what happens, we are not going to choose the right contractor. We are not going to choose the right interior designer. We wants to do ourselves. We will see. Yeah, I can save certain amount by doing ourselves. I can go, and some unskilled labor are there, then they do it, sir, everything is fine. Yeah, we will be there, we will take care. Even the shopkeeper also tell like that only. "Hum hai na." So it is not going to work out in the later stage. So they will give you the unbranded or uncertified material, and it is not going to work as you expected. The life expectancy will not be there. So certain certified certifications will be there for the material. You have to see when you are using the plywood. Particularly in plywood, we will be having 3 4 different types of plywood, like boiling waterproof, moisture resistant, and boiling water resistant. These are the most common material. But where which material it is to be used in a kitchen or a wet area or a bathroom, we can use the BWP 710 grade, that is commonly used in the wet area. In the rest of the place, like a commercial area or commercial ply, that is MR, moisture resistant ply, we can use. In certain case, what happens, some time we want to make it in a cheaper way, people will just bluff the things. They will tell we are going to use BWP, but they use BWR instead of that. Homeowners will not be knowing about the difference between the BWR or BWP, and even they don't know about the MR. So we have to see what material is used on our site, what exactly things is happening. So minimum knowledge is sufficient to go through all these things, and using the block board instead of HDHMR for a high glossy surface. Whenever we are going to use the high glossy surfaces for the shutter, in case of shutters, if you are using the high gloss, if you use the blockboard or plywood, or directly if you are placing on that surfaces, it is there will be certain undulations on that surface, and it is going to spoil the look. In the night, if you see, all the waviness surfaces can be seen. So in order to avoid that, we have to use the HDHMR. The surface will be smooth, high density, high moisture resistant material that can give the super finish or a proper surface look. And using 0.8 edge band. Certain items, what I'm technically speaking here, you may not be knowing. If you are from the same background, some of you may be aware of these items, what I'm talking. Some of you may not be knowing what exactly that is. Edge band is the material which you are going to cover the plywood or surface material like a laminate. In the edges, we are going to have that covering. That is the edge band. Commonly, people going to use 2 in certain cases. In order to avoid, or in order to make it in a cheaper way, in order to reduce the costing, what they do, they use 0.8. Whenever you are going to use the 0.8 of edge band, it will definitely form the sharp edges. So it will not be that helpful to use such kind of furnitures. Not using the soft close hardwares. In any of the hardware in the market, whatever we are having, there are certain things like a soft close or a regular. Regular or a normal means it is going, there is no breaker, or there is no spring, or there is no suspension. It is going to hit directly. If you are using the hinges, it is going to hit. So we have to use at least to the height of 7 feet. Most commonly, the any of the houses or the building, apartment flats, the minimum ceiling height will be 9 feet, and above that, in certain cases, if it is an individual house, we may have 10 feet clearance also. But when we have the 7 feet of height, we may make 7 feet wardrobe. Remaining 2 feet we may consider as a loft. So up to 7 feet is most commonly accessible, and we are going to use everything which are under the 7 feet. So we must use the soft close in those areas. It may be the drawer channel, it may be the hinges, it may be any of the hardware which is supposed to be soft close. In the loft area, basically loft area is not commonly used, and it is very rarely used as the certain waste or unwanted material we are going to keep in that. So you may use that regular hinges or normal hinges there, it is fine, that is acceptable. But in lower space, commonly used area, don't use the this thing, don't make this mistake at all. And next we have the not using the minimum standard. Certain standards are there with every material. We supposed to consider those things. If you are using for a carcass of any of the structure, like plywood, if you are considering, it's supposed to be 16 mm or 18 mm. 18 mm or 19 mm is most commonly used, and 16 mm we are going to use in a, if you are making in a factory. Whatever the factory finishes are there we are going to have commonly in 99% of the case we are going to use the 16 mm ply in factory, and 18 mm ply in case of the site. The one more difference what happens when we are using in a factory, whatever 16 mm is there, upon that we will be having both side laminate. In site we are going to have the one side laminate which is going to be inner. The wall side we may not have the laminate, but we may have the wall insulation things. And inner laminate, what's supposed to be the standard thickness of the inner laminate? Minimum is zero point 0.7, and zero point 0.8 also you can use, and beyond that 1 mm also you can use, but the minimum should be in between the range of zero point 0.7 and 0.8 mm. What happens if you are not going to use this kind of inner laminate? If you are not using the zero point 0.7 one side, and we are going to use 1.5 or 1.2 or 2 mm thickness outside, it is going to bend. That shutter may have the bending issue in the later stage. To avoid those things, we have to take care in the beginning itself. And outer laminate. In outer laminate, the most commonly used is 1 to 1.25 mm thickness. 1 mm is 90% used everywhere. But in some cases, people are going to use zero point 0.8 laminate outside. It is not suggested. Don't do those kind of mistakes. And neglecting the health hazards while selecting the material quality. What are the health hazards are there? How you can say how it is going to connect with that? Because when we are going to stay in a house for a longer period of time, there are certain parameters E0 and E1 in a plywood. It is regarding the formaldehyde emission. Whenever you are going to see about the ply, in plywood manufacturing, there will be a glue used. In that, we will be having the formaldehyde chemical. And once that is ready, and it is going to come out in the form of a gas. So whenever in your house, if you are coming after a long vacation or after a long time, you are coming back to your home, you will be having the eye burning sensation or some kind of things. Those are all because of this formaldehyde emission only. So we have to use minimum at least E0 or E1 grade of the material to avoid those things. And certain things I shown some pictures here. It is the first picture, the hinge came out of that shutter. What is the major reason? In that, particularly, they used particle board. In a particle board, when we are using the particle board, the screw holding capacity is not that good as in case of the plywood or HDHMR. Even certain people claim that even in a HDHMR or MDF, there maybe will not be the that case of screw holding capacity, but it is good in case of HDHMR, not maybe in a MDF. And some other picture I shown, that is certain material while selecting, we have to see that it should be termite proof, borer proof. Those are the things, because we are going to invest whatever the small house, we are going to invest minimum 4-5 lakhs on the house. So if you are not using minimum standard material, it is going to spoil within a year or 2 year by using this kind of by uh, things. Like it may be a termite or it may be a borer. It is totally waste of material. Once those things enters into the house, you can't control them. So it is going to spoil the whole furniture. So we have to take care while selecting the material itself, the quality of material to be considered in that case. And the last thing, the bitterness of poor quality remains long after sweetness of low prices are forgotten. Because we can say that yeah, we got at a cheaper price, that we will be happy on that day only. But again, after a month or after a year, if we are getting the maintenance issue, then it is waste. We have to pay in some other way itself. So we have to avoid these things. Next, coming to the color theory or color palette or color, how to choose the color in interior design. Basically, whenever we are having the things about the color part, we have to be careful with the colors. Means what color, first we have to see what is our likes and dislikes. Who are the people staying in that particular house? It may be a 4 member or 6 member or 8 members. Among that, who are the decision makers and who are all staying in that house, and what particular room is made for whom. So depending on that, we have to check what are their likes and dislikes. Depending on that, we have to choose. If the husband likes red, the wife like blue, then we can't mix. Those are the worst case. We have to see what can be used in a combination. What are the colors we can use? It may be a wall color, it may be a furniture color, it may be a highlighter color. What are the items we are going to use in any interior? The visual effect comes from the color itself. So we have to be very much particular about the selection of color. First thing, selection of colors virtually. Sometimes what happens, people not coming to the studios or offices or where the physical material can be seen. They will be simply over the call or over the meeting like this. They simply say, yeah, it is fine, I am going with the off white and the one wooden color. One wooden color, fine. What particular wooden color you are going to choose? There are 80-90 wooden colors in a particular laminate folders. So you have to choose, you have to be careful with the material. Otherwise they will ask, yeah, you can show me on the mobile itself, you can show me on this. There is a lot of difference between seeing the material physically and seeing the material in the mobile and in the any of the gadgets. Even you can see in your mobile itself, with a different brightness, you can see that color in a different way. So you have to avoid such kind of mistakes later. You have to see all those things physically. Selection of colors from the small sample booklet. Basically, when you are going to paint, you may be knowing that Asian paint booklet will be there. One small booklet will be there, and you are going to use that one particular 1 inch, half-inch by half-inch color. Yeah, you are going to point out, yeah, this we are going to use. Or simply you are going to follow the trend in 2025 trend. Even 2025 is not over. 2026 trend also came in the market. So you are going to choose that 3 or 4 those colors, and you are going to choose like a highlighter or a this one. So it is not going to work out. See, whatever the color you want to do, you just bring some sample, put it like a somewhere which is not visible. It can go to that space and make one sample like a 2 feet by 2 feet or some bigger sample, and you can select from that. That will be helpful. And neglecting the color rule in a color selection, there is a rule like a 60-30-10 rule. Whatever the material we are going to use in a house, in that we have this rule like a 60% should be some dominating color, 30% should be some secondary color, and 10% should be the accent color. What is dominant color? Where we can use the dominant color? Some particular, what is the maximum area you are getting? The walls, ceiling, flooring, whatever the area we are getting in the maximum sense, that can be used as a wall. We may use as a dominant color. Secondary color we may use as a furniture, or we may use as a upholstery, or it may use as a curtains. Those things we can use as a secondary color. And accent color, only 10% is left. Some highlighting items or some artifacts that we can use with these colors. Then it will give the proper balanced house with this color palette. Otherwise it will be like a random arrangement. It will not be having any balance in the design. And next thing is about playing it too safe with the monochromatic schemes. What happens playing with the too safe? What does it mean? Playing too safe means we are not going to choose the colors. I am scared. I am not getting what to be chosen. I have full of confusion. So what I do, yeah, go with a white. I saw in many cases white is looks bigger. Small room also looks big. Go for white. How much white will go? It is not a hospital. Recently, one of my client told, will not, they were discussing with their daughter and them. White. How much white will go? Will not go to that much white. We have to plan properly. What are the things we can consider in that? So monochromatic means any of the white color or any of the particular color, single color we should not use. We should use in that rule, and not considering room function and psychology. Here it comes with a particular room and the function and psychology of that color. Which room you are talking? If you are considering about the kitchen, what particular color goes good in kitchen? We have to think of that particular color. What is the function of the kitchen and what goes well? And usually in kitchen, it's supposed to be clean and neat. So we have to consider related to that. When it comes to the bedroom, what is the major purpose of the bedroom? It is to sleep peacefully. Whatever the color indicates the psychology, as per the psychology, which goes the peaceful, we can use that particular color. And children room, in a children room, what goes good? Depending on that, we can use. And in certain cases, what happens? People will follow these colors also the perspective of the vastu and all. So we have to be careful with what exactly we can use. Not simply after completion of everything, we simply follow the vastu and we will consult the vastu person and we'll give the colors. It is not going to work out. So whatever the consultation is there, do it before. Okay. Uh, Sorry. Next part we are going to discuss about the light. How we are going to use the light. Light is another whatever the things I am discussing here, these are all the major elements of interior design. What these are items. It may be a light, or it may be a color, or it may. These are all interlinked with each other. If you are going to change one of the things, other going to affect. If you are changing the light, the different light you are putting on the particular color, that color looks different. In a warm white, the furniture color look different. In a natural white, the furniture color look different. In a cool white, the furniture look different. So we have to be careful with all the selection at a time. We have to be aware of all these things, neglecting the natural light integration. What is about the natural lighting? If you are considering any houses as per the vastu is about the scientific way of making the construction only, in which we are going to consider about the air, light, and what are the natural elements to be taken into the house. So if it is coming properly in a natural way only from morning 6 till evening 6, we are getting a light properly from one source. We should not avoid that, or we should not block those things. Certain case, what happens, we will be having a furniture like a wardrobe or some other things, or heavy curtains we can use depending upon our requirement, we can use, but that wardrobe or furniture should not block the light. So we have to be careful while making the furniture. The light should enter easily. And next, considering only the overhead lighting, in certain cases what happens, people in the interior, we have to consider all the elements, but what happens when we are not able to consider certain things, we simply go with a overhead light or some two or three tube lights, or putting some lights, and we are going to forget. It is not the way. If you are having the only overhead light, when you are looking at down, you are going to have your own shadow. It is visible. So what the location, depending on the location, depending on the function, we have to choose the lighting also. And next, neglecting the purpose of lighting. What purpose you are going to have the light? It may be ambient lighting, task lighting, or ascent lighting. In ambient lighting, what is the ambience you want to create? If it is a living room, what ambience we are looking for? If it is a puja room, what kind of ambience we are expecting? If it is a bar room, if it is a study room, it's a library, it's a kitchen. Depending upon the place, depending upon their function, we are going to have that particular light. Okay. Task lighting, certain locations like a study area or in a kitchen area, we're supposed to have the task lighting. In order to cook, we're supposed to see what is happening in that stove. We must know. In the reading, we must have minimum like a scale light or a kind of a thing, or one lamp while reading. We know. So next, not considering the color temperature guidelines. What is color temperature guidelines? In Kelvin, if you are having this temperature variations, depending on that, that light color looks different. So warm white, soft white, cool white, depending on the location, for which location which is going to be suitable, we have to use. In the top, I have shown that like a 2700 Kelvin soft white, that differentiation. There is a living room. In that living room, the living room is same with respect to the light, whatever the light effect is there, with a different light effect, that room is looking totally different. You can look from the beginning to the end. There are five different zones like that. In first 2700 Kelvin to 6000 Kelvin, whatever the light variation is happening, depending on that, the furniture look the color of that whole house is same. There is no difference in the color. Even in the last extreme left also the wall color is the same, extreme right also the wall color is same. Depending on the light effect, it is looking totally different. So you have to be careful in this also. Next, wrong fixtures, sizes and placement. Whatever the fixtures we are going to have in a light, there are so many, like thousands of different types of lights are available in the market nowadays. So we have to be select the color on that light uh, properly. If you are having any chandelier of a 2 feet, if you are bringing a 2 feet chandelier, and the most commonly in on an average uh, flat or a house, commonly the height will be 10 feet. In the 10 feet, if you are putting a 2 feet chandelier, if any 6 feet person is coming and raising his hand, it's going to hit it directly. So we have to be careful what is the height of the ceiling. If you have the double height, we may go for 3 to 4 feet chandeliers also. If we are having a 9 feet of ceiling height, then instead of going for vertical chandeliers, we can go the horizontal kind of the different shape. So we have to be careful with these selections also. If we are making like in online, we are getting cheaper way, big billion days, we are getting these things. We have to be careful first. What is going to suit our place, we have to bring those things only. Not it is getting because of cheaper price. And next, we are going to have the not using sufficient light near the mirror in bathroom and in dressing table. This is most common mistakes in most of the houses we can see. What happens whenever you are going to have the mirror in bathroom and dressing unit, definitely there will be a mirror. In the mirror, where the light to be kept, and it should focus the element or person or the mirror, we have to see that clearly. Whenever it falls on our face, then we, while doing the makeup or while doing grooming or while doing the combing, we will see that place. Otherwise it is going to spoil. We are not getting the clear things in that. So we can use, if you are not able to make the differentiation, we can go to LED mirrors directly. It is the cheapest way or easiest way to go for. After the lighting part, we have decoration part. There is a biggest difference between the interior design and interior decoration. Both are going hand in hand, but we supposed to have a different person for that. Most commonly, what happens? Nobody knows about the interior decorator. In 90% of the interior firms or interior work, we are going to have the consultation only with the interior designers. We never consider the interior decorators. So what happens? Wrong if you are not considering. When we are having the decor part, neglecting the role of interior decorator. It is most commonly neglected everywhere. Unless and until the client have a good budget, there is no consultation. Nobody is going to consult the interior decorator. Next, coming to the not considering the Vastu and Feng Shui. In certain cases, what happens? Certain elements, whatever the decorating elements are there, it is to be kept in particular direction. You have to place those things in those direction to get the positive vibes in the house. In order to avoid the negative things, we have to place in that directions only. So we have to think where what to be kept. And random arrangement of decorative items. Whatever the decorative items are there, as in I shown in the right side of the screen, you can see the sofa upholstery is there, mat is there, rugs are there, photo frames are there, chandeliers are there, some plants are there, indoor plants, pillows, those throws. Those are the items we have to select carefully, and most of these comes under those color palette. In the colors we discussed, right? We have to choose from that color palette only in the accent color or some in the secondary color. So it's supposed to match with the color also. And next, random arrangement decorative items. It may be artwork or sculptures, plants, pictures, and neglecting the dimensions of curtains and blinds. Also, this is another issue. Most commonly, what happens? There are two, three ways only using the curtains. One is just immediately after a certain 4 or 6 inch of height from the balcony wall or a window wall. Otherwise, we can use the longer curtain. There is a consideration or a psychology that when we are going to have the longer curtain, we may think it looks like a bigger house. So we have to select it carefully. Otherwise, while selecting the curtain also, we have to decide which curtain we are going for. We are going for a shorter or a longer full length curtain. If you want to go for a full length curtain, where we want to hang it, either to the wall or to the ceiling. In order to make it in the ceiling, we have to give some space. If you are doing the false ceiling, we have to leave at least for a single channel, we have to leave like 4 to 6. If you are putting the two channel like a sheet in the bigger, we have to leave 8 inch. So we have to consider these are the things in the beginning itself. It is not considered at the later stage. What happens if you are most of the commonly think curtain or decorative items we will go and purchase at the last. Client will forget in the beginning how to place it. So we have to be careful with these placements also. And next, adding furniture, cushions, and rugs without consultation. Whatever the furniture, cushion, and rugs we are going to use, it's suppose, as I told, it should be of the related color. It should not be like irrelevant to the totally the theme. Whatever our theme is, like some contemporary theme is there, some random classical or some older style or rustic finish material we are bringing and adding into that. It may not work out properly. And application of a random wallpaper, we are using the to highlight certain wall, which wall we have to highlight first, that we have to be careful. And while highlighting what item we can add, depending upon our theme, we have to highlight with the wallpaper. Simply bringing a random wallpaper and putting into that, that will spoil the look. Placement of mirror in the wrong direction or a wrong location, when it is considered in bedrooms and all, it is not considered to place the mirror in front of the bed. Whenever we wake up, we should not see the mirror. It will give the bad sleep, or it will not give the good sleep, and it will bring a negativity. So in order to avoid, if you believe, it is a scientific approach only. If you are believing, you should not keep in that direction. You have to keep it in proper way. And if you are putting a clock, where exactly the clock to be kept, or if you are having a particular photo frame, for everything we have to plan in the earlier stage itself. That particular wall is going to have family photos. That particular thing will have that wall will be having the clock. This wall will be having the wainscot or wall beading design. So we have to be careful. And these are the things, if you consider during the design phase, we'll not having the challenges. If we consider that at a later stage, we will be having the issue. Okay, next we are coming to the point of budget and legal issues. What is about the budget? Whatever the interior design, it comes with a particular budget. Whatever the size, what happens in the market commonly, calculating the budget without proper parameters. Like any of the person who is calling us online, they will just discuss what is the base price for 2 BHK interiors, what is the base price for 3 BHK interiors. It is not the way what exactly you want. Depending on that, that base price will decide it, right? You don't know about your requirement, simply ask 2 BHK 4 lakh. It is also most commonly trending in the market. 2 BHK we do in a 4 lakh, 3 BHK we do in a 5 lakh. It is not right way to make interiors. So you have to see first what are the items are added, what are the dimensions we are going to consider, what is the material we are going to have. Depending on that, we can make the budgeting. And hiding the real budget from the designer, this is the major issue. Clients simply hide without knowing anything. They have enough budget, but sometimes they simply hide. I don't know why. Because what happens when you are hiding it from the designer? Design, if you say like we want to do 2 BHK interior in a 5 lakh. The designer will try to think what comes in 5 lakh, he is going to fit it in that range only. If your budget is like a 10 lakh or more, you are telling him to make it in 5 lakh, he will add like a lower grade material or lower budget material only. In some cases, it happens with us also. In I think in Cola app, we have certain our project images also. You can see there in Shobha Oasis project, we had like started our BOQ with like a 8 lakh and ended it with like a 17 lakh. Usually, what happens, whatever the amount BOQ starts, hardly that the quotation value will increase by 10 to 20%, not 100%. It is most common thing. Whatever the amount you are going to start, you are going to end up with 10% more than that because of your own changes only. It is not going to happen because of designer or contractor changes. So we have to be careful. What is our budget? Let it be clear. This is my budget, and I want decent material in that budget. And the most commonly, like if you are purchasing any property, like a 3 BHK, if you are purchasing it. Sorry, is there any issue?
No, sir, no. You can continue.
Right. Uh, Commonly, the common parameter or a thumb rule like that, if you are considering or purchasing a 1 CR house, or it's maybe a 2 BHK for 1 CR, then roughly you supposed to keep 10 to 20% for interiors only, because the most common problem is in a mid class or lower mid class, that 1 crore only we are going on loan, and next whatever this another 10% 20% it comes, it will be a major burden. So we have to make this budgeting well in advance. We have to plan, or we may go for a top up loan, or we have to plan it properly in order to avoid the mistakes or we, in the later stage. So the common thing will be 10 to 20% of the construction value will come for the interiors. And next to the part is not reading the payment terms and conditions clearly. Whatever the contract you are going to sign with any of the vendors, you have to see the payment terms and conditions clearly. When you are going on site, if the material execution is done on site, the payment terms will be roughly like a 50 to 60%, 10, 30%, and 10%. So when and what amount, what percentage amount to be given, what are the terms and conditions beyond that? Those things you have to see. If you are doing any of the furnitures in the factory, if you are doing whole house interiors in the factory, almost like a 95%, 90% advance payment we have to do. In common practice in the market like that, 10% will be charged during the design phase, another 80% will be charged during the material phase, and next 10% will be charged before material movement. So we have to be careful whether we are doing in the factory or we are doing on the site, and what is the terms and conditions they mentioned. We have to be careful with that, and not avoiding the documentation or signing the contract. What happens in most commonly in this particular industry, commonly we will go with the reference or some person known to us, but we are not going to maintain it when it comes to business, or when we are going to have the finance involved. We're supposed to be careful those with those part. We have to have the proper documentation. If you are signing any contract in this particular industry, like interiors, most commonly, or we can say roughly 74% in the market, there is no proper contract signing. They will share the BOQs, they will share the quotations. Depending on the quotations, they will agree and they will process. And in this case, even if you want to do in this way also, it should be through somewhere. You can do it in an email or it in a WhatsApp or some other media. So you will have the responsibility, or somewhere it will be stored properly. It will be documented. It should not be like orally I told this and you are getting at the last moment, and contractor is telling no sir, I told something else and you are doing this. It should not happen. So we have to make the documentation properly, and we have to sign the contract. If necessary, we can go for proper contract signing also. And next, it should be either on the email or WhatsApp. And communicating verbally, this is the major blunder, major mistake we are going to do in the interiors. If you are communicating verbally, you are the one person for yourself who are going to get the interior. For the vendors or for the consultants, there are 100 people. They don't remember what exactly though they made verbal communication. So it is always better to communicate on the particular channel, either via email or by WhatsApp or some other, so that you can show, I told it already, this is what my requirement, this is the payment I did. These are all the things we have to make it in a proper way. And warranty issues and how long it is valid. What is the, in most commonly any of the interior designers or interior firms, they will claim like a, we will give 10-year warranty, we will give lifetime warranty, we will give 2 years, 10 years, whatever the years or a time they are telling. In that warranty, what exactly it is considered in 10 years warranty if you are giving, what is considered in the 10 years? Is it considered like a physical damage also? No, nobody is going to consider the physical damage. What else it is considered? What is, if any case of the laminate is fading immediately? There are certain reasons. If the ply is getting termite, or a ply is getting, a hinge is not working properly, it is going to have the rust. For everything, there will be a reason. If the hinge is getting rust, there may be some maintenance issue or your usage issue also come there. So you have to see what, if you are cleaning the hinge with any hard chemicals, it is going to spoil. If you are having the bathroom fittings and anything is cleaned by acid, it is going to spoil. The excess coating will be there, it is going to spoil. So we have to be careful what is considered, what is not, and in what case it is not considered. Those are the things we have to consider during the warranty claim, and how, when it is claimed or when it can't be claimed. In the payment terms also, if you are going to pay 100% payment as per the quotation value, then only those warranty is valid. If you are making a yourself discount like a 2-3% at the last, how you are going to claim that warranty? So these are the issues. We have to be careful. There are terms and conditions, so we have to read all the terms and conditions and warranty issues. Next, coming to the part, neglecting other expenses like plumbing, electrical, civil, ceiling, countertop, backsplash dado tiles, and appliances. These are the things. Because whenever you are going for a new house, making an interior is not going to be only about the woodwork or cabinet or storage part. Apart from the woodwork, there are so many other elements or people also involved in that, like a plumber. Plumbing work is there. Whenever you're going to have the certain changes in the plumbing lines, we have to have the plumber, and we have to be very much careful with this particular. When we are talking about the interior, we can make the wonders in interiors, and we have only problems with these part. Whatever I am lastly mentioning in this, right? Plumbing, electrical, civil, false ceiling, these are the very particular items. These are very problematic. Plumbing, because it is going to be hidden in the wall, the whatever the plumbing line is there, it is going to be hidden in the wall, and we don't know if some error is there, it is going to spoil whole structure. Means it is hardly, it is going to spoil that within a month or within 6 months, we may get the bubble issue in the furniture, because somewhere in the wall there will be a leakage. After plumbing, we will be having the electrical in certain houses, we will be having regularly, or it is going to become short. Why it is going to happen? There will be some leakage in the things. And civil work, wherever the some changes are there made in the apartments or in the construction structure, we may use the civil also. And false ceiling, and false ceiling is one of the major thing. First we have to think, if the walls ceiling height is like a 9 feet or 9.5, false ceiling, is it necessary or not? And what is the major reason? Because when we are aesthetically, it looks good, it looks pleasant, but if it is going to reduce the height of the building, then it may be meaningless to use that. But we have to accommodate the lighting also. So how to deal with that? In order to consider those things, we have to see what kind of false ceiling we can do. Plain false ceiling we can do, or we have to do some other way, or only cob lights, some other light we can use, like a magnetic track light, we can fit it directly in some place, and we can control to avoid the false ceiling. So you have to see all these things. And coming to the countertop in a kitchen and all, in commonly nowadays buildings or apartment and all, builder is not giving the countertop material. They are just telling, even if you are paying like a 3.5 cr or 4 cr also, they are not giving these kind of stuffs. They're telling anyway you are going to change, you are going to break, and it is good also, because most of the time what happens, the builder will give the uniform or common one standard color to all the building. In the flat of a 500, the whole 500 flats will be having a single tile, single type of a granite or a countertop, whatever it is given. So it is not going to match with our color theme. Whatever the theme we are running in our house, it is not going to match. So in order to go for new, it is always better to ask your builder not to give those parts only. If even though they are giving, you just keep it somewhere else, and depending upon your requirement, you use it if it is going to match with your theme. Otherwise, no. So When it comes to countertop and dado tiles and all, in countertop we'll be having the granite, we'll be having marble, we will be having the tiles, we will be having quartz. What is our budget? What is our need? What is our purpose? Depending on all these things, we can make the selection. And dado tiles and appliances. In appliances part, we may think of the chimneys, exhaust fans, fans. In fans also, which particular fan we can go for a particular area, what type of land. Even the fan starts from 1,500, it'll go like 1 lakh also. So what is the type? If you are going for a designer fan, or you are going for like a BLDC motor, normal Atomberg or 5,000 to 8,000, in living room, what particular he wants to go. So these are also be calculated in the budgeting when you are going for interior. So you have to calculate these all the elements. I missed out so many things in this also, but you have to be careful. What are the things are needed in my particular new house? What are the item elements I need? Like you want to bring a new sofa, you have to consider that budget in the budget only. You can't bring it somewhere else. No, you have to consider what is the requirement. If 20 lakh is the requirement, and we have to work out. So within 5 lakh is our expectation. It is not possible. If you are doing in that also, then the cheap material only come in that. So we have to be careful. So next we will be having the material and furniture selection. Uh, in this part, when mood board is done in the beginning, when it comes to the color and design phase, in the design phase, there is a concept of a mood board, color palette and mood board. Depending on the particular things, we will be making a mood board. As per that, we are going to select the furniture and the material. What particular material you are going to choose. The core material is fine if you are considering with the contractor or the vendor, it is okay. When it is coming to the selection of the surface materials, you may also involve. You may go and visit, you may check, like making a selection in Haribari. What goes wrong in a material selection? Making selection in Haribari. Most of the time in a city's life, people don't have the time, and they will do like in a Haribari, simply coming in for 5 minutes and selecting like this, I will do, that I will do. That is not going to solve. It is going to spoil the thing. And exploring too many material and finalizing the random one under the frustration. Because of this internet era in and using the AI, you can simply give so many commands and get the output in a different. Even this the image is also AI generated, so you will get the so beautiful things. But in real time, those materials are available in the market or not. We have to see, we have to select, we have to check. And if you want to get the particular exactly one, it's not impossible. We will get it, but it needs time. So we have to be careful about those things also. If we are particular, then you have to compromise with the time, and you can even you can manufacture also. So that is the thing, and you should not get frustrated during the material selection. That is a major issue. And not respecting the likes and dislikes of each other. This is most common issue in the material selection process. If to husband and wife are coming to material selection to any of the studios and all, husband is thinking one side and wife will be thinking on another side. Our design team will be there. We will be telling this is our theme and we are to go for this. But one person will be thinking one way, another person will be thinking another way. We have to bring those people in the line. So we have to be careful how to work with those. And next, selecting the material online without real touch and feel. This is a major mistake. What happens when you are selecting, even if you are selecting the material offline, physically going, you may have the doubt and you may need to go once again. If you are simply selecting it online, it will be difficult. You will not feel what is the material, what is the texture, what is the surface type. You don't know anything. Simply selecting online without knowing the material, it is difficult. And simply following the social media trend. Already I told, like even if 2025 is not over, it is the September month. Already the trend for 2026 is there in the market. What is there for next year trending material? It is fine, use the trending material, but how long the trend going to sustain? Trends will be going to sustain for 3 months, or it may be 6 months, or it may be a year. But your furniture is supposed to be there for 10 years to 20 years. That is, I'm telling 10 years because sometime you may get bored and you may change. 15 to 20 years is the minimum life expectancy we're going to have. That much time you are going to have, then it is not going to bother with the trend. So you have to carefully choose the material, not only following the trend of that particular time. Next, going for the material selection during the last moment and selecting among available one. What happens? Sometimes whenever the decision maker is the client, usually we keep on telling we need to select this material as soon as possible, otherwise the project get delayed. Client will not bother about those things at that time. They simply come when the our workers are sitting simply idle on the site. They will tell work is not happening, it is not in progress. Then without material, it is not possible. Then what happens? The client will come and they will get ready to go and select. The last moment, if you are going to select, it is difficult. You will be choosing from the available. Whatever available, you have to bring that and you have to give. Otherwise, the project get delayed. So it is not the way. So in the from the beginning only, if it is a process of 45 days, 2 months, or 1 month, whatever the time, you have to do in the beginning itself. And selecting the material after tiresome working day. Usually what happens, you are going to make the material selection because it is the major problem I am tackling. It is most common problem everywhere. Commonly, people are not able to take the leaves on for material selection. They will simply do at the 5:30, 6 o'clock. The designer that studio people wants to, they're about to close their studio, these people will be going there, and by the time they log out and come, it will be the same time. Within half an hour or within 20 minutes they wants to make the design particular selection. Not possible. So you have to be peaceful, you have should not get frustrated. This is the process. You are equally responsible in this, so you always take time and make the selection. Okay. Next, coming to the time. This is the another major thing in the interior design or interior thing. It is not really a 45 days job. Can be done in 15 days also. Any of the interior work, most common scenario in the market, what is the time required for interiors? It is 45 days. That is the most common scenario I'm telling in the market. It is not about the 45 days. What exactly you want? It all depends upon the particular things. Even interiors can be done in 15 days also. In the factory, if you are okay with the factory finishes, we can make in 2 weeks. If the sites are available, even 10 days also we can do. But what is the scope? Next, it is but it depends on the following parameters. What is the project scale, scope of work, design complexity, material and vendor, lead times, client communication, contractor availability, and unexpected issues in the site. Because these are the parameters. Depending on that, we can make the time and decision. You are not having the clear title. What is to be done in your site? You don't know. You are telling me within 15 days. Some people will come and ask, is it possible to start tomorrow? What to start? We don't know what to do. So we have to have the design clearly. First, we have to, there are certain stages. Next, I told about the phases of interior designer. There will be a phase, design phase. In a design phase, you have to spend at least minimum 2-3 weeks, because once if you are selecting or doing, it is not going to complete within a one round only. There will be a cycle. It is going to be changes. Depending on the changes, in 2 to 3 weeks, we can have the sufficient time and select the designs. So first, the project scale. What is the scale means? Is it 1 BHK, 1 room, 2 BHK, 10 rooms, or whatever the size? It is a bungalow, villa, individual house. What is the scale? What is the requirement? Because the proper people will not be having that knowledge. They will be reading on the ads. 45 days, within 45 days, we are going to complete your interiors. Otherwise, we will pay your rent. We will pay the amount return, like that. Because you don't know what is your requirement. If you are having a bungalow, and it may take even 3 months or 6 months also, and you are expecting within 45 days, impossible. And you are having like a one studio room and you are expecting like a 2-3 months, no, it's meaningless. Within 15 days we can finish. So we have to be aware of that. And scope of work, what are the things we have to do in that particular house? What is the expectation? What is the requirements? Depending on that, and design complexity, what type of design we are going to have? Is it possible? Nothing is impossible, but in order to make it impossible things to possible, we need time. And material and vendor. Material, whatever the material you're selecting, that material should be available in the market, right? And vendor should be there, material availability should be there, lead time. Sometimes, as I told, most commonly, if you are purchasing the material in Bangalore studios, if you are selecting a rare handles or some particular hardware or fittings, we may have to bring it from Gujarat or Mumbai or North Indian places, sometimes even from the abroad. Then during those phases, it will be difficult. So you have to look what are the material availability is there. Depending on that only, we can give the and client communication. In one of our project, it is a villa project. We met our client. We started our client communication after 2 months of their project started. We not even come into the picture in the scenario. After 2 months of time, we got communication with those people. So sometimes it happens with the people who are totally occupied and may not be available, and the contractor availability, whatever. When the project size increases, we have to see the availability of the contractors and different people who are working. It may be a plumber, it may be a painter, it may be electrician, it may be some other skilled laborers or things, and unexpected issues. Certain issues are not in our control. Sometimes some failure or some damages, some things go wrong. So we have to be careful with that also. We have to consider that time also. And next, phases of interior design, as I told about the time required time for a particular phases. It may be a design phase, it may be a material selection phase, and it may be execution time and handover. In a design phase, if you give decent 2 to 3 weeks, it is fine. Then only you will get a proper design. And material selection, if you are giving full time also, you may need like a 4 to 5 days to material selection. And execution, there are two ways of executing any project, especially related to the cabinet or woodwork. One thing we can do completely in the factory premises and bring it and fix it here. Another thing is completely done on site. There are advantage and disadvantage and time consumption variations are there. So depending upon our requirement, we can do. And that is about the execution time. In execution time, it's also we have to consider that how many hours, working hours, we are getting in the site. If you are considering any of the properties in apartments in Bangalore, so like a Bharati City, L&T and all, in Bharati City there is like 2 to 4 silent hours. Morning 9 o'clock we have to go inside. In order to enter, we need half an hour for our labors to get all the things checked. We need 30 minutes there. And in the evening, by 5:30 only, that watchman will start and knock the door. So these are the practical issues we are going to face on the site. So we have to consider time depending. We can tell 45 days. That 45 working days should be there. In 45 working days, we should get 8 hours of working minimum time. And in between, if you are getting the continuous, in August we have the regular, means continuous holidays. Like if you are getting the festivals and holidays, it will be difficult to finish the projects on time. So there will be certain issues. And handover part, when we reach the handover time, it is always better to finish everything and go for the handover. In between middle of the project, we simply wants to do the puja, those things, then it will be blunder. We have to clean again and again. Once again, we have to do the work. So it will be issue. The last, I think I took much time. One more slide is there. We'll finish it off soon. It's all about the decision making. Whatever the slides I discussed earlier, all comes here again. Here we have to make the decision. This is totally from your side, how you are going to decide which design theme suits me. If you are considering your interior design as a problem, the solution is there. If you consider half of if you know the problem, then you can say that it is half solved. What is your style? What are the people? How many members are staying in that house? Maybe 4, 6, or depending on that. What is their taste? Depending on their taste, we can decide the theme: contemporary, traditional, minimalism, Japandi, or Scandinavian. There are plenty of designs. So which design suits my personality? Because this is going to define your personality. Whatever the design you are selecting, right? Whenever some guest comes to your house, this is what defines your personality. So you have to be very careful with the selection of theme. Next, designer versus Pinterest versus AI. This is the another major thing. So what you are going to choose? Either you are going to choose the designer, or you want to choose the Pinterest, or you want to give commands in write the prompts in AI and get the design done. So this is fine. First, you have to clear, and from Pinterest, you are getting the certain images. You have to see whether it is practically possible to make that execution in my site or not. Uh, we don't know what is the dimension in that particular house they where they designed. Simply the design we are going to copy and we want to execute in our site. There the site dimension is 20 feet. Here the site dimension is 10 feet. We want to bring that design and we have to accommodate here. Not possible. It is going to make a mess. So you are for inspiration to get the things like a particular way. For that, Pinterest is very good. You take the inspiration from that. From that, again, you choose and get the exact designs done for your house. Okay. Next, come to the selection part, that is longevity, sustainability. Whether we have to choose for longevity or a sustainability, both depending on the what factors you are going to have the thing. PVC and cane wicker basket. One example I am given here. PVC basket in a kitchen I am considering here. PVC basket life will be more easily you can clean and you can have the keep it somewhere else and dry it and bring it back. When it comes to cane wicker basket, there will be a chances of getting spoiled soon, or there will be chances of insects going and sitting inside that, and you can't wash it properly. So there will be advantages and disadvantages. If you want to be sustainable, then you have to go for cane. But cane have these disadvantages. If you want to have the sustainability and you are going for PVC, then it is against your theme and personality. And next come to the plywood and recycle board or block board. As part of longevity, we can consider the plywood. As part of the sustainability, we may go for the recycled board or particle board or some other material also. But we have to think of what we need. Next, coming to the carpenter, contractor, small firm or corporate firm. Here, these are the choices or things you have depending on your time availability, depending on your patience, your skill set. You can choose the person. Carpenter, okay, you can even choose the carpenter directly and work done. But what is the final output from that carpenter? Designs, either you are getting the designs from someone else, you may get the designs from the freelancers, and the carpenter is good enough to understand those designs and you will be able to do that, is fine. But even what people will do from the designer also, they will take only 3D designs, not about the 2D. Detailing will not be there. They will consider only for 2 BHK for 10,000 to 15,000 they will pay and get the things done. Within that they will get that much only. What else you expect? Detailing can't be given in that budget. So he will give only that 3D images. 3D images we are have to do. Then carpenter will make the blunders here. There may be chances of getting wonders, but you have to have the time, patience, skills. Even if you are having that all the things, then you can go with those. And contractors, depending on the contractor, sometimes contractor they don't know how they are going to do. You, if you are the contractor is totally known to you guys, then he is a trustworthy. Well and fine, there is no other issues. In certain cases, contractors are so good that even they will not compromise with the material at all. They will be going with a very high quality material. They will show each and every bills. But it is again your time. The problem is if you are going with the carpenter and contractors, while the material selection or material purchase, every single, even one nail is not there, they will call you, sir, this item is not there on the site. Without that, we can't do any work. Then these are the issue. So you have to choose. Next, coming to the small firm and corporate firm. Small firm, the person, I hardly like us, we will maybe consider a small firm. We will be having like a major decision maker, maybe 2, 3 partners or the team of a group of workers are only the decision makers. Next, when it comes to the corporate, I don't take the name of particular corporate firms. In that corporate firms, what happens whenever you're going for even just you search somewhere, they will get your numbers. They will keep calling you again and again every day, and they will try to make it. If you go to their firm, they will take 10% advance and send. It is not possible you to come escape from that place. So what happens and how to get the work done? In that case, what happens? There are professional MBA graduates or the MBA students. They will be given only job to get the project assigned. They have to collect the project. They should not. They are not involved in any design thing. They are not involved in any of the process. Their work is to get the onboarded things only. So their next designer will be different, design manager will be different, supervisor will be different. There are so many ways, and when you are going to have the communication, it will be difficult to reach the particular person whom you want to discuss. And there is no changes possible in the corporate firms. In the small firms, contractor and the carpenter, you may change in between before completion of the project. But in while going to the corporate firms or like a factories directly, there is no change possible once the design is freezed. That is the final, because that is the term itself says it is freezed. There is no change in that. Next, coming to the branded and unbranded material, what material you are going to use, local for local, like that you want to consider, or imported material you wants to go. If your budget is good, like 35 to 50 lakh, you may go China and you may get some better material also. Some there is a conception in the market. We may go to China and we'll get the better goods than this. So you have to think what is your budget, where you will get, and what is the transportation, what is the risk, and how to install. If something goes wrong, who is responsible? How to claim the warranty? There is pros and cons. Both are there with everything. So you have to consider yourself. Next, factory finish or manual finish. This is another major question or major thing people will have in mind. Either should go with a factory finish or a manual work on the site. What goes wrong or what goes better in a factory? Both have advantages and disadvantages depending on your requirement. In factory, you can make it fast. In manual case, it will delay. And in factory, commonly 16 is used. In manual, 18 is commonly used. In factory, we'll have both side laminate. In manual, we have one side laminate. There are pros and cons in both. In factory, there is no change possible once design is freezed. In manual, till the finalization, there are possibilities. It is not supposed to happen, but there are chances of changing the design. Next, another budget part or a finance part enters here. GST or without GST. There is nothing happens without GST. It will be considered inside the BOQ or a quotation only. It is another game or another factor we are consider with GST or without GST. That is to be seen. And next, coming to the surface finish. This is another thing where which type of material to be used. What is like a surface finish? Either I have to go for laminate, or I have to go for acrylic, I have to go for veneer, Duco, PU, lacquer glass, polymer, or some other. There are so many plenty of materials are there. Stone finish or some other materials are there. What particular material finish you have to consider? Laminate, like acrylic, where we are going to use what? That is the thing. Everything have its own advantage and disadvantage. As I started writing like a laminate, it will be of certain budget. Acrylic budget will increase. Veneer steel budget is going to increase. Duco lacquer glass, again the budget going to cross that. If our budget is like a minimum, then we can go for laminate. If we have the decent budget for particular area, we can use the acrylic. We can use the mix match also. Color can be played as per our mood board, but material finishes we can choose as per our requirement also. And next, the surface finish texture also, glossy, matte, pseudo finish, texture finish. In laminate selection, this one comes. What particular color finish to be used in which place? In kitchen, we recommend to go for glossy. In bedrooms and all, we not recommend, but it's again the customer choice. What happens in bedrooms if you are using the glossy laminate? In case of the any light is falling on that, it will reflect as good as the mirror. So if you are making it as a peaceful place, to avoid the glossy thing. That's it. Next, shall I go for false ceiling or not? Already I discussed in there. And what material to be used in the false ceiling? Whether gypsum board we are going to use plaster of Paris or PVC board things. So it depends. If you are having the sufficient height, then only go for false ceiling. If you are don't having that thing for lighting purpose, you may use different types of lights also. And next, this one I already discussed. What about the tabletop, granite, quartz, marble, full body tile? What is going to be used? And hinged shutter or sliding shutter. In case of wardrobe, this is another challenge. People have in the mind that if I am using the sliding shutter, the space requirement is less. If I am using the hinged shutter, the space required is more. Nothing like that. Whatever you are going to stand in front of that wardrobe, that much space is required anyways. So that whatever the wardrobe shutter is there, if you are making like a 16-inch to 18-inch, then it is fine. If you are making like a 20-inch or bigger than that, then it will require that much space while opening. That we have to consider. And which is suitable material, core material for us, whatever like a plywood, WPC, MDF, HDHMR, aluminum, stainless steel. Yes, it is not like a only plywood is suitable. WPC is also suitable, MDF, HDHMR, or aluminum, stainless steel, everything is suitable depending on your budget, depending on the location, depending on the use. Plywood can be used everywhere depending on that PWP or MR we can use. WPC, wood plastic composite, we can use in a wet area for a bathroom area or below the kitchen sink. If you use the below kitchen sink, it is not going to spoil. In certain cases, kitchen sink, below that, any storage is made or not. Particular, even builder not suggest to make anything there, but certain clients want to do something. Later stage, they may have the issue and they may have to break it, or it will be making a issue there. And MDF and HDHMR. What happens if you are using the MDF? If you are making the Duco with the MDF, it will be difficult. We may have that bubble stain kind of things on the MDF surface. So it is better to go for HDHMR instead of MDF. In HDHMR, we can do Duco. In HDHMR, we can make a shutters. For proper finish, we can go for HDHMR. Next, come to aluminum and stainless steel. These are the not new thing market, but these are now trending again. So aluminum and stainless steel, in some cases, we may not get exactly what uh, finish we are getting in plywood and laminate finish. And stainless steel, it may become costly, but it is kind of a investment. If not now, in the future also, it is going to get that amount back. Lastly, to exhaust fan or a chimney in kitchen, particularly, if you want to use the chimney or exhaust fan, depending upon the availability of the space where exactly you're getting above the hob, if you are having the window, you don't want to use the chimney. Exhaust fan is also okay. It's a good choice only. But for a look purpose or aesthetics purpose, we are going to use a chimney. We have to think in a chimney also which particular chimney we have to use. A ductless chimney or with a duct. Duct means with a pipe and it goes through somewhere. So we have to consider if you are using the chimney, again, what shape, flat or a curved kind of shape we have to use. And in that, we can use the auto cleaning one and maximum suction capacity. Certain parameters, automatic parameters are without touching, because while doing the cooking and all, we'll be having the stains in hand or a certain amount will be added. So you can use it with motion sensors, that kind of chimneys we can use. And a housewarming, finally, whatever your dream house is coming to opening, that is another thing we must know when you want to do housewarming. Because in major cases, what happens, you don't know the time, you simply waiting with asking someone, pujari or something, priest. That priest will tell the particular date in between next 15 days only. Then your interior is not completed. Before interior you want to do, that is fine. After interior completion you want to do, that is fine. In between interiors, if you want to do the housewarming, it will be difficult. It is a waste of money and waste of time. Either it is not useful for anyone. So you have to be careful with this housewarming date, time, all those things. So here are the 10 mistakes, not 10, I told like 100 mistakes from the thing. So you have to choose carefully whenever you are deciding about these factors in our interior design. Next, coming to our firm, the Siddhashri Interior Associates. It is located in Sakar Nagar. He is my partner. Omkar Jage is the founder, and Sharan Bouquet, I am the co-founder of this firm. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was truly an insightful session. You've taken the session with so much enthusiasm for the past 1 hour. So thank you so much once again, sir. And it's time for our Q&A. You can, so participants, if you've got any questions or doubts, you can post it on the chat box. Sharon sir will answer it. So we've already got some questions in chat box. I'll read it out. So the first question is, when making the kitchen cabinets with glossy laminate, which is the best material, plywood or HDHMR? Also, is it all right to have the kitchen hob and sink next to each other on the same slab?
Okay. I will take the first question first. That is about the laminate. Which laminate we can go for the kitchen? It is recommended. I told in the box already. We always choose glossy laminate. Glossy laminates are recommended for kitchen only because of the easy to wipe
Uh,
out.
Excuse me, sir. You can turn off your presentation.
Okay, just a minute.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. You
Is
can
it
continue.
visible now?
Yeah, you are visible. You can continue.
Yeah, we have to choose the glossy laminate, especially in kitchen, because in kitchen we will be having the chances of getting stains. And when we are using wet wipes or normal cloths, also easily we can clean those things, greasy kind of things easily. When we are going to have the soot finish or a texture finish in kitchen, that whatever the small particles is going to absorb and it is going to stick with that, it is very difficult to clean that surfaces. So it is always recommended to go for glossy. Either it may be laminate, acrylic, or lacquered glass. It should be glossy or easily cleanable material.
Uh,
And second question.
Good evening. Can I interrupt in between?
Yeah, yes, Sammy.
Actually, the question was if you're going for a glossy laminate, is
Yeah.
it better? What kind of material in terms of HDMR or plywood should be used for the kitchen?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got confused. Yeah. HDHMR is highly recommended because when you are going to use the glossy laminate, if you are going to have the surface like any of the even the better ply we are going to use, there will be material undulations on the surfaces. Because when there is a ply, it is a natural material. There will be a chances of getting the things like undulations. Calibrated plies are also there in the market, but will not be having the proper surface finish. So we have to go for a HDHMR. In HDHMR, we will be having a neat surface. So you can use the HDHMR and get the better finish with the glossy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay, sir. The next question is: can a sunroof or open to sky cause an increase in cabin temperature? If so, how can it be minimized?
Sorry.
Can a sunroof or open to sky cause an increase in cabinet temperature? If so, how can it be minimized?
Okay. For sunroof, there are certain solutions. Even we have the curtain or a screens kind of a setup. Those screen can be automated also. It again depends upon the budget. If you're having the good budget, you can usually go for that servo motor and remote controlled screens. That screens can be used and we can use those screens. That is the solution for sunroof.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So the next question is for bathroom vanity and kitchen cabinets, what kind of wood should be used?
Bathroom cabinet and kitchen, we recommend firstly about BWP ply, that is boiling waterproof. In kitchen, BWP is fine. When it is going to the like a extremely like a sink below the sink or in a bathroom vanity and all, there will be chances of, even though we avoid water contact, there will be chance of falling the or backsplash. So we can use WPC, wood plastic composition. Even if you keep that material in the water forever lifetime also, it is not going to spoil. So you can consider WPC for those particular areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So someone is asking to run the 10 point once again.
The presentation.
Yeah, in the presentation, 10th point once again.
And just a minute.
You can just give a summary about it.
Yeah.
You don't need to present the screen.
Just a minute. Okay, fine. In a 10 point, just any particular thing they can ask in that. In 10 point, I've considered so many issues like what are the decision making points are there that I given, they can take the screenshot and ask.
Be pasted on WPC.
Sorry?
Can laminate be pasted on WPC?
Laminate may not be pasted on WPC, but internal material we can have there will be certain issues. There will be delamination issues will be there in the WPC, but we can have the like surface material or a core material, we can have the WPC, or a bottom material, we have the WPC, and the surface we can use the different material.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, if the customer is asking the code,
Quotation.
if the client is asking the code, when we give the code, they won't answer how to. Okay, so
That is from the designer perspective that we
yes,
can.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you please give a summary on slides 1 and 2? I missed the first 2 points.
Can you take the screenshot and check what is that slide 1 or 2? Do you have that any screenshot? Can you ask with that?
I think she's asking for the summary of the first 2 slides.
I think space planning was the first point. Right? In a space planning, what are the space and how we are going to use? Like roughly when we are going to have a particular area. I'll get a slide for the reference. Okay, just I will make it again, I think.
Okay. So if anyone has got any other questions, you can post it on the chat box. Okay, so what is better, having the factory made plywood or having it made at home?
There are advantages and disadvantages of both. Like in a factory, I told about the factory finish. There is no change possible once the design is freezed in the factory. That is to be done because whatever design is selected, whatever choices you made, depending on that only we give for the production. Once you are not going to accept your selection, no one going to use that. So we will bring that and keep it wherever you tell. Otherwise, what happens in site, there is one advantage. We may change in the last moment also if the possibility is there. That is the advantage of doing inside. And one thing in factory, we will be having the mini fixtures. The strength compared to factory, the site will be more as per our experience.
Can I just interrupt in between?
Yeah.
See, when we're looking at a layout, if we are not following the layout which is
Given by
given by
the
builder,
Yeah.
we are doing our own layout.
Hmm.
So there'll be a lot of changes which is happening.
Yes.
So a lot of electrical changes will be happening in the layout.
Hmm.
So even the furniture layout would be changed.
Okay.
So how would we treat the false ceiling then?
Yeah, I will tell with some examples. Whenever the builder is giving any of the furniture layout, so many things which are most useful, they will not consider itself. In commonly, Puja Mandir place is not decided by any of the builders. 90% of the case, unless the local builder, nobody considers that the Puja place. They will not give any particular place for the Puja. They will not give place for the work from home situation or a office space or like a study table. In children room, if you are considering that room as a guest room or a children room, there should be a study table. But no builder will give any electrical point or switch point for the those things. So after those things, we have to see depending upon our requirement, what is our style and what is our theme. What is our depending on that only. If you make the like a layout, that will be more beneficial for us. And you are talking about the false ceiling. Can you ask that once again?
False ceiling. See, now if we have changed the furniture layout
Hmm.
as per our design or whatever, and we need to do the false ceiling as per that. See, there'll be, I mean, sometimes there would be an asymmetrical false ceiling which has to be followed.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of electrical lines which has to be changed. So all those will obviously enter into the false ceiling.
Yeah.
So how do we treat it?
Basically, false ceiling design is nowhere concerned with the whatever the layout plan they given. That means even the builder is giving the layout plan, they will not be considering the proper false ceiling or lighting effects, everything. They will be considering the basic, the extent, what are the light points or what are the points to be given. But they will not be considering in a false ceiling if you are having a number of lights, how many points to be considered.
Sir, we need to go to the next question in the chat box, which is, but what finishes can be done on WPC? Also, hinges cannot be screwed strong on WPC. What is the alternate?
If we want to go for alternate, we can go for SS. SS is the best material available alternate to that, but it is costlier compared to WPC. But questions are right. There will be a screw holding capacity is less, and that laminate pasting capacity is also not that good compared to other materials. But alternate to that, if you want to go for that particular area, not whole area, you can go to that particular the major point. That is the major point, like a kitchen vanity and the kitchen sink area. You can consider the SS for only that area.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Someone is asking for some suggestions in indoor gardening.
Mhm.
Uh,
Indoor
can,
gar-
can you share some suggestions?
Yeah, indoor gardening again. It comes like it's not about the landscaping thing for indoor gardening. Whenever you are going to have the indoor gardening, like you have to use the indoor plants only. You can't have the other plants. When you want to maintain the indoor plants, you're supposed to have the knowledge of how to maintain those plants. In the beginning, like first month, it looks very good and fancy. Everything will be green. But once you're not taking care of those things, putting plant water is not sufficient for plants. You have to carefully take care about the nutrients or some other things to be considered. So in normal scenario, what we do is only putting the water. That is not a solution. So you have to be careful about the indoor plants while putting the plants. Yes. Anything else?
Yes, sir. Which aquaguard type is preferred, undersink model or above sink or placing in the loft?
Sorry.
Which aquaguard type is preferred, undersink model or above sink or placing in the loft?
Okay, while selecting the water purifier, there are two choices. You can't keep in the loft. Again, taking water is a bit difficult. Either you can keep it on the wall, like wall mounted, or else into the below the cabin. There are some advantages and disadvantages of both. In If you are using the under sink, you can use that top area for particular usage. You may use something else like a GTPT or some other units. You can put it there, and some storage unit you can make it on the above sink also. When it is there in the below sink, some believe like waste is going through that only, and the water, pure drinking water is coming from that. So some people avoid with that mentality. So both have advantage and disadvantage. Again, it depends. It is left to the client only, what is suitable for them.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay. The next question is there any price difference in factory made versus home? Nowadays, all the interior companies are asking for factory made only.
Yeah, factory made is fast, and manual made is totally labor oriented. Little bit cost difference will be there in the labor oriented compared to the factory finish. Labor oriented will be little higher than the factory finish. In factory, they are doing mass production. In site, they are doing the particular customized designs.
Okay. So the next question is which ply is better, Winwood Gurjan ply or Century ply?
Brand we can't discuss here directly, particular brands, and we can't blame particular brands is good or bad. Depending upon your budget, depending upon the parameters, like as I told about the quality, what we have to check, where and what to be used. If you want to check with a particularly, you can cut the material, you can see the material. After seeing with the experience, any contractor or carpenter can tell that it's a good or bad ply. So you check with that parameter once, or if you want to physically check the BWP, keep it for biling and check it in that sense also. We can't recommend any particular brands here. Sorry. Yes, anything else?
Yes, sir. We get this is the last question for today's session.
Okay.
What is the best timing to introduce into interior designer or decorator for residential building construction?
If you are considering the interior designer, once your design, the floor plan is done, whatever the floor plan you are doing in the beginning, during the construction also, you can take their advice also. Once the things are done, then finally, once the final finish is there, that time also you can go for that. But in the beginning, while making the design process only, you can go for it. Construction design only. That is good.
Okay, sir. The last question is: do I need to use HDHMR everywhere at home, or what are the specific places where HDMR should be used?
HDHMR usually used in the shutter parts. Whatever the doors we have, for that we are using. In our factory, in our practices, we are using only for the shutters in normal front part. The remaining carcass and all, we are going to use the plywood only. So you can choose, even in HDHMR, everything can be done, but HDHMR is bit costlier compared to the plywood. So for the better finish purpose, or a glossy or a acrylic we are going to use, then we are considering HDHMR only for shutters.
So yes, sir. It's time to wind up our session. So thank you so much, Sharon sir, for sharing your time.
Thank you all. Thank you all
Expertise.
for attending the session and for giving the platform for me to present this. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, and I'm sure everyone here has taken some valuable insights with you today. So, and of course, big thank you to our wonderful audience for joining us and making this session a success. So we are expecting everyone on our coming sessions as well. So thank you once again, Sharon sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Bye. Good night.
So, dear audience, you can share your feedbacks on the link provided on the chat box. We are looking on to that. Thank you so much.